Okay, let's get the styles, the CSS for this RGB Colors website. Actually, before we do that, I wanted to quickly talk about this input type, and we did number here. And you're like, well, what's the difference between text and number? Doesn't look any different. But the key thing is for text, it just, you can type text or numbers, right, into here. And for this one, for number, it gives you this little arrows here. You can go up and down, and it stops you from typing text, except for E, because that's like to the exponent or power of or something like that. Okay, so that's kind of a difference between text and numbers. So we want these to be numbers, so we can put that in. Okay, now let's get the CSS. So if we look at this, maybe let's start by doing the fixed width, again, text align center. Let's get the main layout, right? That centered fixed width layout, the HTML and the body. Okay, so the gray is going to be my HTML, and then the body, that has everything in it, is going to have a background white, and we're going to go margin auto to center it and give it padding and all that good stuff. Okay, let's try. So, remember I'm linking to my style sheet. There it is. Let's go HTML, background gray, and then body, background white. And let's go text align center. See what that looks like. Okay, good. Let's do some padding. Maybe like 25 pixels on the top and 100 pixels left and right. Remember, the first numbers for top and bottom, second numbers for left and right. Okay, gives me a little bit of padding, and we can see that here as well. Oh dear. Actually, what I forgot to do is width. We really need that width. And actually, maybe I don't even need that much padding if I have, well, it's okay, padding's good. Oops, sorry, let's go width, 600 pixels, we can try that. Okay, and this is where I think I am going to need to switch between screens here, because it is harder to see there. Okay, how did I do? Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Oh dear, no, that's too far. We'll have to change lots of stuff. Okay. What's next here? Let's try doing, oh yeah, how do we get this into the middle? That was margin. And for that, we're going to do margin auto. And that, as we can see here, centers it. And if we wanted a little space from the top, which we do, a little space from the top, we need to have another number here. Let's just go 25 pixels. And that'll push it from the top. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, that's good. And I think actually the left and right, I don't need any left and right because everything's centered. I'm just going to go 0 there. Except for those... oh, yeah, okay. So how do I... So that's interesting. I could try to make these, I could do width on these, or I could do padding, and that would push them from the sides. So we could do that either way. What do I feel like doing? Let's just do a width. So I just look at those HRs, and they're kind of weird. HRs could have a width of, say, 500 pixels maybe, up to 5,000. Okay, that's cool. And actually, let's be consistent with the 500 there, I think. Actually, no, I wanted a wider. 700 pixels, I think. Okay, anyway, and we got to fix these things because that's too wide. But I think we also have some rounded corners. Yeah, rounded corners on the body is just border, radius. I usually do 25 pixels. The higher the number, the more curve there is. The smaller the number, the less curve. So we've got background white, text align center. We've got some padding on it. The margin on it to get it centered and up top. The border radius. Oh yeah, often I like to do that base font. And let's do Arial again. It's usually a nice clean font. And that should apply to everything in here. Okay, good. And then let's look at this H1. I think again it looks like a slightly different font. I think I did Verdana. Okay, oh, I have to hit refresh on this one too. Boop, there it goes. Okay, so let's look at the H1. Now I usually like to do things kind of in order. I jumped out of order with those HRs. They were bothering me. Font family Verdana. We can just do that one. And I think a little bigger. Font size, 42 pixels, and some letter spacing. And you just tweak or play around with these things and see what it looks like. Letter spacing makes it a little broader, a little bit bigger font. Cool. Okay. Next up, let's work our way top down maybe. An RGB color is specified by, and I want to style this so it's a different font. And I think that font I want is Courier New. And maybe we want to make it bold too, it looks a little darker. Right, so this right here. So remember I put that inside of a span tag. Let's just double check, I make sure I did do that. Yep, span tag right here. And I only have one span tag, so what I could do here is I can just select the span tag and go font family Courier New, very first one right there. It's kind of a computerish type font. And I think font weight bold we can do. There. So that's Courier New font, stands out a little bit better, make it bold. Okay, anything on this paragraph? I don't think so. We just had those italicized, so the EM, we did that already. These input elements need some big changes. Okay, so first of all, we're going to change the width, their background color, and their font color. Okay, where are we? Right here. So we're going to select all input elements, because I want to do to all three of them. I want to first change their width to 60 pixels. And I think I also did the font for the numbers in there. We'll do Courier New as well. And I made a slightly bigger font than normal, 18 pixels. Okay, let's try that. Okay, that looks much better. Good. Okay, and then in terms of the backgrounds, I need each individual one to have its own background color. So to do that, I need better selectors. I need to go here, and I need to give this input element an ID. I'm going to call it red in, short for red input. This one will have green in. So we're just adding those ID attributes. Remember, there should only be one ID of red in on your page, just that one unique input element. And this will be blue in like that. And by adding those ID attributes, I can now grab them inside of here and go ID, red in, and go background red. Cool. Green input like that, background green, and then blue input, background blue. Let's make sure that works. Okay, good. And I think on here I made the font white so it stands out a little bit better. And now this is a good example of trying to do things efficiently. Because my first instinct is, oh, I wanted this input element to be white, and I'm just going to copy this and paste it. Control C, and then do a Control V, color white, and great, that worked. But whenever you find yourself doing a lot of copying and pasting, there's usually a better way. So I want the font color to be white on all of the input elements, so we can actually just do that here, where I select all input elements and then Control X to get rid of these. And instead of needing 3 lines of code, I can just do 1. Okay, you want to consider that for being more efficient. Okay, And you know what? I think I'm going to stop there. We've got a bunch of styles left to do, this thing and the button and some other stuff. We're getting close, but I think I'm going to stop it here and we'll do finish it off in the next video. Okay, thanks and see you in the next one.